Plymouth was the capital of Montserrat, a small island in the Caribbean. But in 1995, a volcano, which had been quiet for centuries, suddenly woke up. Over the next few years, it erupted on and off in waves. In 1997, it blew up again and completely buried Plymouth under ash. Some areas were hit with material over 30 feet deep. The whole southern half of the island was evacuated and declared an exclusion zone. The thing is, the volcano didn't stop. It is still considered active. Buildings are still standing in some areas, but they're buried up to their rooftops or split in half from lava and ash. You can also see traffic lights poking out of the ground. No one lives there, and no one's allowed to go back permanently. Occasionally, researchers will go in with permission, but that's about it. The entire area is under strict control because the volcano could erupt again with very little warning. It's still hot underground, and the air quality can turn dangerous on a dime. This next city has got to be one of the most bizarre I've ever heard of. This is the story of a car company who decided to build a town in the middle of the Amazon, Fordlandia. In the 1920s, Henry Ford wanted to control his own rubber supply, so he bought a massive chunk of land in Brazil and started building an American-style town, complete with white picket fences, soda fountains, and there were also these strange rules about what people were allowed to eat and wear. Yeah, this didn't work. The locals didn't want to live like Americans, and the rubber trees didn't really grow like crops. See, they packed them too close together, and that made them a breeding ground for pests and disease. Everything that could go wrong, it did go wrong, and the whole project started to fall apart. Eventually, Ford gave up, and the place was abandoned. For a long time, there were only about 90 people holding out here, but as of 2017, actually, that number's grown to 3,000. People who'd been looking for places to live decided to go back into the town. But it's just not run by Ford anymore. Up next, we have this place. You're gonna have to put it in text below. There's no way I'm not completely butchering that name. Anyway, this town was swallowed by a volcano. It was in 1943 when a farmer was working his fields that the ground cracked open and started spewing smoke and ash. In days, a brand new volcano had formed and started growing. Over the next few years, lava flows buried everything around it, including the town. Most of it disappeared, but one part weirdly survived, the top of the church. You could still see it today, half buried in solid lava.